if this is a question down the road, but any advice I would give to somebody wanting to do what we've done would be not to start out brewing your most expensive beer the first time you brew on your new equipment. I don't know, maybe somebody else would have a better go at it than I did, but yeah, I think I started brewing at about 2 in the afternoon on a Sunday, and I think I got home at 1 o'clock in the morning the next day.
Wow.
Which is not typical for me anyway. Yeah, it was our hazy IPA, the Glory Cloud, and was excited to get that going and get that out there. But having not brewed on this equipment before, kind of knew what I was doing, but it still turned into a holy mess. Didn't really have a good way to sparge, which is after you mash, you soak the grains, you run water on top of the grains to rinse and get as much sugar out as possible. And so I didn't have a good way at the time to do that, so I wasn't sparging, but I had all my grains in the basket and my water volume to the max, and apparently it was just I do a recirculating mash, so I'm pulling liquid from the bottom and putting it back on top to try and boost my efficiency that way. And apparently things were running through the grains pretty slowly, so I was getting more liquid on top of the mash than was going through, and so it was starting to spill over the basket, not onto the floor because it's still within the kettle, but it was doing that, and then got all that finished, got the boil going, and started boiling over, like you do with pasta or something. But this is hot, sugary water coming over, and so kind of freaking out about that, and then
He was here by himself too, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He had no one else to help.
my brother and his wife did stop in just to see how things were going, and at that point I was like, well, I gotta figure out how to empty this grain basket, because if I can't empty the grain basket, then I can't brew the next day because there's still spent grains in there. And so they stopped by and helped me contrive something. I can't remember what at this point, but we got it emptied, but I was still kind of went home after all of that, like I said, at 1 or 2 in the morning, and didn't really sleep well because I was still trying to figure out how am I going to do all of this and do it more efficiently and stuff. As a homebrewer, I would just take the spent grains from my homebrew stuff and throw it in the garden and call it good.
Yeah.
Like there's no garden here.
Right? It's a big garden.
that would be a lot of grains to throw into a garden. So, but I pulled through. I told Dustin the next day, like, I need a break.
Yeah.
That one batch almost did me in, and so the next couple batches after that, I did just half batches. I'm like, I'm just gonna slow it down, just get a handle on my process here and the equipment. And so the next couple batches, I did just 31 gallons. Those went a lot smoother, and then eventually got back into doing the full process. So still, even at this point, 11 months into it, I just brewed our 50th batch last week. It's hard to believe it's been that many beers already, but even now, I'm still tweaking things and figuring stuff out on how to improve the process, improve efficiencies and stuff of that nature. So it's really a never-ending process. As just hoping that at the end of the process, still hoping that the beer is drinkable and
Sure.
and not just drinkable, but good.
Yeah, enjoy.
Excellent. So.